welcome again to Charge and Connected. I hope you feel well. Today, we are back with another episode of our relationship seminar breakdown. And joining me today, too, is our sister Sherry and our Nana Forsen, our own Nana Forsen. So, today, we want to talk about purpose. Purpose, purpose, purpose. I think we hear that a lot, but guys, what is purpose?
That is your set target, that is what you are looking up to. So that's the vision that you look up to a set target. So that's the purpose.
People married because they love the person and they want to. I remember I asked a sister, so can you imagine marrying the guy you're dating? And she was like, yeah, I love him, so I can imagine marrying him. And I was like, okay, if love is enough. But prophetess and apostle was saying that marriage is for a purpose. Marriage is for a purpose because there is a purpose. There is a reason why marriage was made. And they were giving an example from Genesis 2:18, where Adam had to take care of the whole garden, and God knew that he was doing all this alone and he needed a helper. So he brought Eve into the picture to help Adam to fulfill his purpose, which is taking care of the garden. So when we talk about purpose, the reason why I'm asking what is purpose is some of us, we ask the guy that we meet, the girl that we meet, we ask them where do you see yourself in 10 years, 5 years? And people will say, yeah, I see myself working as a manager or as a director of some company, having a house, having 2 children, married. And yeah, but what if in 5 years time, that target, like Nana, you were saying, that target is hit? What happened after? So is purpose enough in having just a target for, let me say, 5 years time to come or 10 years to come, or is purpose something bigger than that?
So I think that it's a general overview of how a life well spent is going to be. Like for the purposes of what the Bible said in the Genesis chapter 2, he said you are going to be the man's helper. And if you're going to be the man's helper, that is not a one-day job.
Mm-hmm.
That is not a one-day job. That is not 2 months job. That is not like five years. It has no timeline. For as long as you would want to live with the person, these are the purposes and the targets that you are going to be with the man for. And so when you look at the Garden of Eden was a full functional place. And it has a lot of work to be done. And so when you look at the purpose of relationship, and so to say, that will lead to marriage, the purpose itself shouldn't, I don't think that you should have a timeline, so to say that, in the next 2 years, I want to be this. And so if you are not, then that means that part of you is gone. You would have to have a general overview purpose of why you actually want to be with this person. So the general overview is that at the long-lasting effect, what are you guys going to achieve at the end? What are you guys intending to do? Because anything could happen. There are people who have been in relationship and they have never been fruitful as in the fruit of the womb. But in their plannings in the beginning, towards the marriage, they planned having children. They had a purpose of having children. And so if we stay just on the limit of saying that, okay, I've seen this person, so I'm just limited of the fact that in the next 2 years, this is what I think we can do for ourselves, it limits you to a corner. It doesn't make you try to explore the other opportunities, the other possibilities that comes around. So in as much as that is why we have a yearly review. So even in the relationship goals or the relationship target, every time here and there, every month, every week, every other possible year, within the time that you are together, you need to really assess what your targets are, what the purposes are. Because being a helper, and that is why I'm saying that a lot of times that segment of being a helper is limited to the point that I will just be helping Adam. I will just be helping Adam. But a helper is more than you, the originator, because like the person is the one behind you trying to tell you that, oh, this way that you're going, it's wrong. This way that you're going, it's right. Because they see far beyond. So it's just a limitation for somebody to just say that, oh, I will just be a helper. So then, okay, what he tells me to do is what I will do. What he says we should do is what I will do. So the purpose should be behind the limitations that cuts across the years and then the number of months that you are supposed to think that you have to do something. You just have to envision yourself that this person that you are in a relationship with, you are going as far beyond. That is why the most trickiest part of all, and that I'll drop my point so that our sister can also contribute something, is that even during the time of the wedding ceremony, you might still have your own set of targets, but then the lead pastor in the church, or so to say the apostle, will let you be so to say signing an oath of words, who says for better and for worse. Why would you sign up for better, for worse on the day of your wedding? Why would that happen? Because then you should have an expectation that it is not all the blues and all the glams and all the being, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Some sort of something worse can also happen along the line. So then you should always think beyond the limits. That's what I would say. So the purpose doesn't just say that, oh, we have a 5-year plan, so without it, nothing can be done, you know? So that is what I will have to say concerning the purposes. Yeah. Sorry, I said a lot.
Sherry, your thoughts on that?
Well, I had to write so many notes during this time because I need to break it down. So let us first start about purpose in a physical way and also in the spiritual way, because that is also a big difference. Because I can have my physical purposes, as Nana said, approach, target, a goal that, yeah, I want to have a job and this kind of job, I want to drive this kind of cars, I want to have this amount of children in my life. That is, for me, is a physical purpose. Then we also have the spiritual purpose, is what God wants us to reach in this lifetime. Yeah. So as it is written, your ways are not my ways. Yeah. So is it as in the perfect example is Saul, Paul, you know, what he did during the times, persecuting, killing, so on and so forth. And he had his job. He was a soldier. He was in his own position. But so he was okay. Yeah. But his spiritual purpose was not that one. Yeah. So it took enlightenment for him to look at later on what he did, how many people he evangelized, what he did for the Christians, and so on and so forth. So that is two difference. Yeah. So we can focus. Of course, that is especially what I have encountered in my job is, let us go back to the physical, like to the worldly purpose, is I meet a lot of patients, old, young, so on and so forth. I come into conversations with them and I hear a lot of grief. For example, when it has to do with cancer, so on, like different diseases, loss of children. And then I try, because I am a Christian, to also point out not only the dark sides of the situations, but also what is beyond, as Nana said. And they will be like, yeah, if there is truly a God, then this would have not happened, so on and so forth. This kind of also hurts, because think beyond. Because in life, yeah, there's a situation which will pop up, which leads you to direct you to a different way, and you will meet this person. Your child might have died, but if you look ahead, as it is written, your ways are not my ways. Yeah, you would have just probably killed yourself or whatsoever. You would have just moved out of the city, but that was your time of breakthrough for this job, for this person, for you to meet, so on and so forth. You might miss your train, you might miss your flight, yeah, but in that time you would have met or connected with a different person who later on in the next future will open possibilities for you as well. So look beyond, look as okay, I have my earthly purpose, I want to achieve this, finish schooling and this, but what is the spiritual purpose? It will not fly against your head just like something, no, but you will have to have the intimacy, the relationship with your Father in heaven for him to reveal it to you, because, and the patience is the key. Patience. We don't like hearing it, but everything has an appointed time. Yeah, you just reflect. That's why your thinking is also not my thinking. Okay? Because at this everything's already planned. Yeah, the unbelievers, they will be like, hey, how can that be possible? But everything is already in its own time, in its own package, as this, like it will release and unlock itself. But it is with you, it is with me to delay it, to make such a big sideway, but it will surely happen as you continue being righteous, faithful, upright, so on and so forth. Don't let his wrath come upon you. So that is what I have to say with purpose. We should also think on the worldly, but also on the spiritual. But what matters is more the spiritual than on the worldly, because at the end, everything will perish on this world. So don't hold on. That's why it's written, don't hold on to the worldly things.
Yeah, I love that. I love the breakdown on your both side, because it's really true that there is the physical, the earthly purpose, and there is the spiritual purpose. And I think what is right for our relationship, where we want to go into a relationship, is for us to know our kingdom purpose, our heavenly purpose, because that is what is going to hold our relationship, what is going to hold our marriage in the near future. Because when we just have the earthly purpose and we just want to build a house, have a family, have kids and everything, after 5, 10 years, 15 years, when all these things are achieved, we are going to be empty because we don't have anything before us. We don't have any purpose. And then people will say, yeah, we fall out of love. It's not falling out of love. It was out of purpose, because you didn't have any purpose that you were following, in my opinion. So, it is very important for us to know our heavenly purpose, just like you were saying, Sherry, before we enter into a relationship, or in that relationship during the courtship time. We have to know our path. We have to know where we are going. Is it that you want to have a deeper relationship with God? Or is it that you want a partner that will join you into building up a ministry? Or is it that you want someone in your life who shares the same love for God just like you do, in order to achieve what you want to achieve in life? Because then you have something that you are looking forward to. You have something that you are taking both. You hold your hands and you take both into that situation, or into that purpose, into that goal, that target. So I think the most important part here is us knowing our heavenly purpose, our kingdom purpose, and knowing our earthly purpose, or together with our earthly purpose. Because the earthly purpose, we always have our earthly purpose. We want to go to school, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to do all kind of things. So that is clear. But what is the overall purpose? You know, where do we want to go? Where do we want to be? And after we know that, which can also only be achieved through really divine insight and knowledge and wisdom through by God, for us to know our purpose. You know, what God sees us doing in the near future with our future husbands, or the person that you're courting right now. So we will end here. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section. What are your thoughts on purpose? What is purpose in your understanding? Do you think earthly purpose alone is enough for a future relationship, for a future marriage, or do you think having a heavenly goal before you is what is going to help a relationship, a marriage stay? Thank you for sticking with us, and we will see you same time next week. Bye.